Right, we're back, and let's get on with painting these chaps. Now then, what do we need for here? Well, let's have a nice little grey colour, shall we? Okay. And we're going with the speed paints from Army Painter, Gravelord Grey. This is one of the original speed paints, and it's a set that it's from a set that sent me out to try free of charge. So that's why you're seeing the Army Painter logo at the top corner of the screen. As always, whenever I do one of the use one of the paints that they sent me, I'll put the logo up. Only for so we have that. Let's just dry the pin so I don't get this paint everywhere. And let's get cracking, shall we? So this I'm going to be using on the shirts. And we'll just make sure that is it a shirt or a jacket? I think it's a shirt. I might be wrong. And I actually think I've painted the wrong part on the back. But yeah, I think I'm going to do this jacket in this colour. I'm hoping what I'm doing is right, the right part. Doesn't make any difference if it is. There we go. Just let's make sure that I'm painting on one area this colour, and that one area is the jacket that he's wearing. I thought it might have been a shirt, but it's not, it's a jacket. There we go. And just make sure that on the jacketed area and paint it like this. There we go. That's one done. Next we have this chap. Okay, so we're on the last one now, and I've realised partway through doing these that I really should have hung on to do this with the speed paints, because as we all know, they do reactivate when it comes with what's the word I'm looking for, when it comes into contact with water or other paints. So in order to do any more than the round here, I'm going to have to wait until this dries, give it a varnish to protect the thing and stop it reactivating, and then I can carry on. Never mind, there are other things we can work on here, so I'm not too worried. But yeah, that's it for the what we call it. That's it for the speed paints. Right, now what I want to do is get another grey colour. Now I'm looking more towards the boots at this point. I mean, I could go as far as doing the let's bring that in. I could go as far as doing the metal, or most of the metal, but there's metal parts on the coat, and I've actually painted over some of them with the speed paint, so that wouldn't be a good idea. So I'm going to do the boots now, and I'm going to be using Necromancer Cloak for the first highlight. There we go. Oh, let's see if that work. Looks okay. Better than it was, let's put it that way. Change brushes as well. And we'll do some little lines here and there on these boots, just to give it a look of light catching them. And there we go. It's always nice to have a little bit of a highlight when you're doing things like this. Makes it look as though you spent a little bit more thought and energy on them. There we go. There's one. And we'll just add lines here and there just to make it look as though light is hitting certain parts and reflecting. And we'll hold the toe there. And we'll come back later on with more or a lighter shade and make the highlights a little bit more pronounced. You can just about see them, and that's what we're looking for at this moment. We don't want anything to be really in your face. There we are. You'll do. Now you can come here. I'll move that brush out of the way. I don't want to put that brush there because that's what I'm putting the minis once I've highlighted them. I will just run this straight down there. And that's how we go with this. Just put in little marks where we think light is hitting. And if you want a clue of where it could be, if you're just starting out, so look from it straight from the top down. That will give you a better idea of right where it's hitting. So look at it like that. You get an idea then of where the light's hitting. Or you can just put you can just put it on all the raised areas. I tried to make it, I've said this before, if this is the first time you're listening to one of my videos or watching one of my videos, usually when I'm painting highlights, and highlights, bear in mind, is where we think light is hitting the model. I always try to make it so that it looks as though it's coming from right above. That way, when you turn the models in game, they don't look out of place. I mean, object source lighting is good in its if used correctly. Like for example, if a character is holding a torch or a lantern or something like that, or is casting some form of spell, object source lighting would be appropriate there, but I wouldn't use it on minis that are going to be used in game, because it looks odd. When you turn one of the minis, and also the light's coming from your right hand side, and you turn it round, you're painting them all the same, so the light's coming from the right hand side. When you turn one of them round, all of a sudden that particular model is lit from the left. And you know, it doesn't seem to fit terribly well, so I don't usually do object source lighting in that respect, because I don't like the way it looks. But I do have a try every now and again. I'm not very good at it, you see, so that's why I don't use it very often. But when I do, it's usually when I need to go over that with a bit more black. I usually use it when it's sort of like there's a source of light really close to it and it looks obvious where the light's coming from. Needs to be secured on a bit more. That's better. And there we go. I'll pop that down there. And now here. Unfortunately, I missed some areas on some of these, but you can always go over some areas with the whatchamacallit, the highlight colour. That usually hides a multitude of sins. There we go, and finally you. Now I do need, seeing a few areas on some of these that need tightening up. Tidying, not tightening, sorry. Thinking of something else. And just do this here and go over the toe. Right, there we go. Now I said I'd have to go back into the black and tidy up a few areas. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm matte black with the Army Painter. All that black I put out yesterday, that still didn't cover everything. Oh dear, never mind. Right, so you were one I needed to do. Okay. Let's make sure that on the black is covered. On the areas I want black is covered. And trying to keep away from the grey areas I've done already. So you're one done. I've discovered two that I haven't got out. Oak brown being the first. Oh, and this one is pure red. Not what I wanted to happen, but hey ho. This project so far has been full of things that I've not wanted to happen. So we're going to mix these two colours together to make a nice reddish brown colour. Pop a little bit of black in there as well, just to darken it, really darken it down. I'm going to clean the brush out.